First post, Lad BBQ on Instagram responds to Roman and says, would be nice to see them, the titles, defended every now and then. And similarly, 2 Wild Bill says 1,000 days of barely defending those belts. This is a complex issue here. I get what Lad and Bill are saying. It would be great to see Roman defend the title every now and again on SmackDown and defend the Universal Championship on every pay-per-view. But at the same time, Roman has become a final boss type villain, and he's got to be protected. Having him fight less often is giving the impression it's rare and special event when Roman is fighting. So I do understand the sentiment Lad BBQ and 2 Wild Bill are expressing, but I'm going to pass on this post. Next, Roman on Instagram posts, it's lonely at the top, hashtag tribal chief. And Ron Killings responds, I'll come keep you company, your tribal chiefness. Okay, first, Ron Killings, aka R-Truth, made me laugh. Calling him Roman the tribal chiefness is hilarious. Second, I would love to see R-Truth in the Bloodline. I kind of miss that Sami Zayn humor the Bloodline used to have. R-Truth could provide that spark, but also in general, I think Truth is one of the most underrated wrestlers. His work in 2011 against Cena and the Little Jimmys was just so good. This post is dope. Next, from the Squared Circle on Reddit, Paul Heyman was quoted as saying the feud rivalry story with Baron Corbin over dog food and the infamous suffering succotash promo had weighed on him, Roman, enough to where he said, I've had enough. I've reached the cap. I can't go any further as the big dog. So Heyman quoting the dog food match on SmackDown and of course Roman's promo saying suffering succotash do seem to be pretty low points in his career. Even though he was popular at the time, I respect the fact that it was a wake-up call for him and his career had to go in a different direction. It takes intelligence and honesty to know when things need a change and feel stale, and that's what Roman did. This post is facts. Next, Dr. Afsarali on Instagram responds to Roman's post and says Roman is the most overrated WWE wrestler. I do see these posts on social media calling Roman overrated, and I think it depends how you view him on your rankings. Many have him as their best wrestler in the world right now. Some may have him in their top 10 ever. Some may even call him the GOAT. So it just depends. But is Roman the most overrated WWE wrestler? I'm sorry, Doctor. I'm sure you're a brilliant man, but there have been tons of wrestlers who have been much more overrated than Roman. Let's start with Batista, Goldberg, Luger, Steiner, Triple H, just to name a few. I'll pass on this post. Next, Mford1 on Instagram responds to Roman's IG post and says, and new UFC heavyweight champion, Roman Reigns. This is just funny. Roman's collecting all the belts right now, and to think of him taking on John Jones in the Octagon is just hilarious. This post is great. Next, Aston Mack on Reddit commenting on Roman's historic run. It's been pretty great. My main issue is the constant interferences in his matches. Doesn't gel well with his image of dominating champion. The company makes him out to be. Change some of his wins to be clean and save the interference for when he truly needs it. Let's look at this. Roman versus Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle. Solo interfered. Roman prevailed cheaply. So I agree with you there. Roman versus Logan Paul at Crown Jewel. Yes, there was a lot of bloodline distraction, but not really interfering in the match. This one seemed like a clean finish. Roman versus KO at Royal Rumble. Some distraction again, but mostly a clean finish. Roman versus Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber. The Usos definitely interfered. Roman used a chair. Cheap win for sure. Roman versus Cody at WrestleMania 39. Bloodline, including Solo, totally interfered. Definitely a cheap win. I think you definitely have a point. I'm fine with Roman cheating to win, pulling the tights, low blows, but having the Bloodline just win the matches for him seems absolutely unnecessary for a historic champion like Roman. I'm with you. They need to change up the finishes. Facts. Next, coming from Joey Romano on Twitter, Creative is considering having Roman Reigns, who is scheduled to have a singles match at this year's Money in the Bank, losing one of the belts to none other than Drew McIntyre in London this year, which would be justice for Drew losing to him at Clash at the Castle. The O2 Arena will be lit, and they would be fully supporting the Scot Drew McIntyre. I guess this tweet no longer is completely possible now that there's just one Universal Championship, but regardless, even though I'm not the biggest Drew McIntyre fan, I do think their Clash at the Castle match was great and very believable. I wouldn't be completely against this win. Facts. Next, Valadon on Reddit commenting on the Bloodline and Roman's historic reign says, a mix of some of the absolute best moments and storylines of the last decade and also some of the biggest missed opportunities of the same time period. It feels like there's been several natural ending points to this reign already, none more obvious than at WrestleMania. I couldn't agree more. The Bloodline has provided amazing drama, no doubt about it, but I do think Valadon is spot on when he says that there were some really big missed opportunities. The two that jump out to me are Sami Zayn in Montreal. That crowd was in a frenzy and would have been an amazing moment to see him, the Bloodline lackey, take down the Tribal Chief. And second, of course, Cody Rhodes, finishing the story at WrestleMania and finally bringing a World Heavyweight Championship to the Rhodes family. Facts. Last, Undertaker on a live interview on Give Me Sports, and he's responding to if Roman Reigns is in the GOAT debate. Here's what he says. He has a claim. He's got an argument. Now, I have the utmost respect for Taker, but if you're calling Roman's current run one of the GOAT runs, then I'm with Taker here. It's historic, and he's joined the league of Hogan, Morales, Sammartino, and Backlund. But if Taker is suggesting Roman is on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling, or even possibly the greatest of all time, I'm sorry. Roman is fantastic, a talent no doubt, but to me, he doesn't have the longevity and impact of a Stone Cold, Cena, Flair, or even The Undertaker. So I agree Roman has one of the GOAT runs. This 1000 days is amazing, but he's not one of the GOATs yet. Thanks for watching. Be sure to let me know if you agree or disagree with me. Until next time, wrestling fans.